I mean, patience has never been their problem. It's coordination. Like, okay, so we need to use our poke when setting up for round and objective. My criticism for Shifters is someone's making an all-in play on bot lane.
Gonna land a Mystic shot there from Baduk, but they are looking for the dive. No heal on Trimby, no aggressive summoner for Baduk. He's gone for the TP instead. Flash forward from Razork into the chains, into the root. First blood for Fnatic. Upset claims it with the auto.
The roam though, the roam from Nuke.
Nuke is looking for Razork, distorts across, doesn't have Mimic right now. Ishtar's impact will lock Nuke against the wall. He has to distort back, but Lusper flashes, and he goes back, and Lusper takes the kill. Razork with a great Ishtar's impact, but Nuke just went a little bit too greedy there.
Fantastic outplay from the map. He gets that push immediately in the bot lane 2 versus 2, and with the enemy jungler pathing away, this is an uncontested dragon, and the RNG goes Fnatic's way as well, with the crab spawning right under the feet of the dragon.
That fight either. You can see Bukada's now going to shift up to the next bush, avoids the snap trap. But the wave still will be slowly pushing towards Fnatic. Bukada goes in, flag and drag, double knockup, double cataclysm as well. Juchabar's going out as Lusper is going to fall. Trimby takes the kill though. Will the dive now materialize? Upset takes the Mystic shot. Razork is on his way across and it looks like Shifters will call off any further advance.
I think this was the now realizes he's in the opposite position. So with no camps really for him to set up for, he's just committed to making a dive happen. He has the ult, he's got everything.
Baduk has flash, but Ishtar's impact into the chains, into the impale. How'd you get out of this? Ace in the hole, we'll find it. Razork takes it with an upheaval.
Okay, Razork did sabotage Upset at every stage of that
flash, but has a 90 caliber net to try and escape. Bukadi might just need to burn flash it. Oh, great flash into double knockup. Upset the target for them. Baduk will take him. The shutdown does go over to Bukada as Losper is able to walk away.
Another fantastic gank from the river. Health advantage going the way of Vladdy in contrast to Nuke. This is going to be a difficult contest, I think, from Shifters.
I think it's a greedy contest if they go for it. Their AD carry is currently farming minions underneath the tower. True Shot Barrage comes out, and they decide the fight doesn't really need to start. Vladdy looking for the 2-4 Hex onto Nuke. It's going to get chained up. Nuke doesn't really want to go for too much more here with Razork and Losper waiting just around the corner. You know they're in the area. The Drake has just been taken by Fnatic. Only 100 gold between the two teams right now as Bukada might look for something. Ooh, good dodge on the impale. Ishtar's impact catches him in the middle of the flag and drag. Between worlds goes Vladdy, but into the afterlife he might go soon as well. Nuke takes him. Razork's now in the middle of 4. The TP in from Baduk secures the kill. A double for Nuke and a 2k gold lead for Shifters.
The initial play looked promising for Shifters is able to win out the fight. Now, while all this has been happening, top is, Upset, he's in a lot of danger.
Yeah, Nuke going in with the chains will get the root, flag and drag there for the follow-up, and Rooster here to make sure that Shifters secure the kill.
I was just about to say, while all this was happening, Rooster in the top lane.
The steel caps and the Iceborne Gauntlet already completed for him. It's Protoplasm Harness first for Razork instead of the Heart Seal, which we often see. Losper going to get jumped on. Tidal Wave there for the follow-up onto Razork, who has to flash away. Both he and Losper using those summoner spells. A great Acroprism again from Trimby as Razork locks himself in space with the impale. In the end, Razork is able to walk away. Protoplasm
to happen. So Fnatic then rotate over to mid to try and contest the Herald. They fail contesting the Herald, but while doing that, they also
can... Magic was this, but overall, I think Fnatic making sure that Shifters weren't taking a Baron is more important than trying to deny them Dragon. Then wait another 5 minutes and actually fight. And at that point, maybe you're looking at a 4-item Caitlyn instead of the 2.5 item Caitlyn you're sitting on right now. As Razork goes in onto Bukada, trap going down as well. They look for the chase. Cataclysm forward. Bukada's going to get rooted up. Ace in the hole there for the follow-up, and there's the shutdown for Fnatic. As Bukada deficit down to 2.5k, very a huge jump. As Razork is going to step forward. Trimby here still has the flash. Upheaval down. Between worlds goes Vladdy looking for the chase. Tidal Wave out as well. And now Trimby eats an ace in the hole. And Vladdy pulls the hexes back and takes the kill. Another pick for Fnatic. And the gold lead is halved over the last 3 minutes.
Okay, because once you do it once or twice in the split, fine, not a big deal. You still have the advantage. But the fact that they've thrown so many times, now Razork.
Ishtar's impact's going to catch Bukada in the middle of the flag and drag. There's the pullback, and Bukada's going to die under the tower. Another kill for Fnatic as Vladdy does TP in.
Okay, these TPs, they are way too fast
I think this is a Baron call.
I mean, it's early TP from Rooster means that they get the mid-wave push. Good poke comes through from Rooster. And now the poke from Shifters is starting to do work. Dragon has started off.
Nuke looking to see if he can get on towards Vladdy. Dragon down to 6,000. Empress there with a Q3 weirding. Trimby knocked back. The tidal wave saves him for now, but between worlds goes Vladdy. And to the afterlife goes Trimby. Fnatic will secure the Drake, and Trimby and Bukard have been taking turns, getting sent 6 feet under. Jumping in with the distortions onto Vladdy, but Vladdy just dashes away himself. Drake, it would be sold for Fnatic if they can secure it. Aqua Prism is going to land. Paduk takes a chunk though. The Drake down to 5,000. Nuke trying to look for the flank. Empress down to half HP. Nuke dashing in. Razork still there. Tidal wave coming out. Paduk getting jumped on. The Drake secured and sold for Fnatic, and meanwhile the Guardian Angel propped onto Bukada. Shifter's going to try and save their jungler, but Fnatic have already got 2 out of the fight. Booster forced away. Flashes stars impact onto Nuke. No, Distort will get him out of this one. Pulled back with a Q3 as Fnatic are cleaning up the fight. Paduk will have to run for the hills, and Rooster will have to follow suit.
Clean, patient play comes through from Fnatic as Shifters crack under the pressure. The Soul is secured, upset with no hesitation, will find the ace in the hole to get the kill onto Paduk, and they will turn their attention towards the Baron. Fnatic stayed strong when it felt like the game was falling out of their hands. Patient play, good cross maps, nice picks, and they took advantage of what we've been seeing from Shifters this split.
Yeah.
They make those mistakes in the mid-game.
There he goes. Fnatic don't know right now. The flank from Bukada, patience from him, the damage coming out. Now they see that there's a Jarvan behind them. TP coming out, Flash with the knockup from the flag and drag, but Vladdy's already killed Nuke, and Fnatic just ripping them apart. Trimby down, Nuke down, Bukada down, Paduk the last one standing, but I think it might be hunting season for Fnatic. Vladdy goes in, and down go all of Shifters. A valiant flank, you have to say, but Vladdy picks up the quadra here in Les Arena. And on his old home turf, Vladdy states his intent for this series.
Yeah, Vladdy walked onto the stage with booze in his face, and he responds with a quadra to end out game 1.
Fnatic, the patient game, finds them the victory. For Shifters, it's the same old story. A mid-game collapse is calamity for their hopes of playoffs.
Wow. Fantastic resiliency coming through from Fnatic. The game really did feel like it was so quickly falling out of their control, but they bounce back nicely and they get game 1 in this series.
We're going to hand it over to the analyst to break down that game. Take it away!
Thank you so much, guys.
Dash, but...
Okay, I mean, I guess it has a lot of individual agency, you could argue. Maybe it's also Upset's most comfortable of the 3. It should beat. Spell shield against the empowered Q, like you can spell shield the stun, like, and just consistent auto attacks with the improved base AD. Ooh, Vladdy.
Oh, Nuke flashes away. Vladdy with the autos! Bird is the word for Vladdy.
He is thriving in this arena right now. He is allowing, I mean, again, I won't outpush them, but I'll be fine.
Yeah, I can survive under the tower. Razork and Trimby here fighting for a Scuttle Crab. The handshake back from Trimby. Bukada looking for the fear here as well, as they will chase. Aegis Assault coming out from Razork. Root onto Vladdy with that Rune Prism. We'll bring a Razork down to about, going through med school and such and starting to be a doctor. They'll say, if you hear hooves, as Bukada's going to force losses fast, if you hear hooves, think horses, not zebras. As Grand Starfall is going to come out into a great handshake out of Trimby. Razork walks out with the Aegis Assault, but the paranoia is there for the chase. Good stun out of Fnatic means that Shifters aren't going to get anything more out of it. But yeah.
Top laners here in the LEC have similar preferences, but right now, speaking of Rooster, he's joined up with his jungler to contest these grubs.
That's the Equalizer. Only a Haunting guys to back it up. Razork's going to go for the Smite. There's the Paranoia into the Equalizer across them. Nuke looking for the Realm Warp as well. Trimby there, but there's the Pop Blossom coming out of Lospo as he tried to delay Shifters from chasing the rest of his team down. He'll do that. Shifters do get the kill onto Lospo, who sacrificed himself for the good of the team.
Yeah, I mean, the Realm Warp was the biggest difference maker. Now, they are hovering around the bot side of the map. Razork does have his ultimate available. Pings are coming down.
Flash Tangle Bars for the follow. Grand Starfall out as well. Good handshake again. And Paduk is saved. That was so close, but Shifters able to walk Paduk out. Trimby with a perfectly timed handshake.
Paduk is very scary right now, and this is a window where Shifters can gain a very solid early game lead.
Fnatic are going to start the Dragon up. Losper looking for Trimby. Eats the handshake with a shape splitter. Vladdy's here as well. Good crystallize. Could cause their demise. TP coming in from the Ornn. He has the Forge God. Paranoia onto the backline. Heal up from the Aegis Assault in the Thunder Sky out of Razork. Pantheon. Forge God comes through too, and Trimby falls for it. Bails himself out, but still going under as Fnatic get their second of the game and will take the Drake alongside it.
The fight ends up devolving into two fronts, with which Fnatic is much more comfortable to collapse because they have the numbers advantage. The cost of this is the advantage that Rooster is gaining in the top
whole
lane.
Top lane tower.
Yeah, he's going to get the entire tower for himself. Look at the lead that he's been able to build up. Ooh, nice wall.
Oh, Vladdy, that's a blue wall here in Les Arènes. That was very nice as he locks Nuke.
So sending it bot?
I know why this happened. It's because Paduk got in, and if Paduk goes forward and hits the tower, he then is in a telegraph position. And you have Call of the Forge God and Sheepbot for the follow-up.
I don't agree with it, though. I feel like that you should have just let it hit the mid tower.
Without getting in it.
They are going to get another hit on the bot side, but this gives Fnatic access.
Oh, Call of the Forge God into Lost the flank here. Pop Blossom! There's the Call of the Forge God follow-up into a double root, and Paduk is dead! At the 20-minute mark, we see Paduk dying, but Rooster on the backline can begin to burn through. Upset opens up, though, and Rooster just can't get into the fight the way he wanted. Upset dashes across the wall and will chase them down. Rooster burning through Razork, but he's gonna die to Upset. His cock has crowed. As the chase continues, there's the slow. Upset cleanses it away. And Fnatic win the fight at the 20-minute mark. You don't know how it's going to happen, Betty, but you can be damn well sure it will.
I mean, all of the credit needs to be given to Losper for that play. He finds such a fantastic...
He has TP as well, so he can always rejoin. Okay, it looks like they're starting the Baron again, or are they just clearing vision around it? No, they're definitely on it. Ricardo and Paduk. So Spears with Kalista. We haven't talked about this in a while because we don't see too much Kalista.
Do they not know?
But it does a lot of damage. They know they're in there. They just don't know how low the Baron is because they don't have vision. Right? They had vision outside of the pit. Trimby caught with a Flash Frost. Now they know the Baron's down to about 7k. Bukada having to run away. TP in from Emperos, and Shifters are like, okay, that's enough.
That, I think, is the most important thing, because they didn't really get any TP on the previous play. This time, though, getting the TP out of enemy top is really stock standard front-to-back team fight out of Dragon. That is the, in my opinion, worst-case scenario for Shifters.
Would you say getting caught in a side lane is part of the
Not ideal.
Yeah, so Rooster is going to have to flash away from the Flash Frost. Paranoia being used here to try and give Rooster the ability to get out, and they don't know he's in the second bush. Now they do. Vladdy still has the egg, and he's going to be fried and go into it, but Razork has enough damage to get the kill onto Rooster. Ping's coming out towards the Baron from Shifters. Upset chasing in onto Paduk. Handshake out onto the Shape Splitter. In the end, Shifters just get a little bit of vision denial around.
Fnatic, I expect to turn their attention towards.
Oh, is this going to start it?
Ryze
Upset spotted, walking into the pit. Grand Starfall coming out. There's the TP as well. Ryze's bot lane without TP and without Realm Warp, and this Baron's already down to 10k. Trimby, a hostile takeover to save the game. Handshake onto Bellows. Breath isn't going to do too much as the Baron will fall for Fnatic, and Upset begins to turn his attentions elsewhere. Double Pop Blossom, double knock-up call to the Forge God, and Shifters answered the call of the Baron just a little bit too late.
It is completely over now. Fnatic, fantastic decision. Absolutely excellent. Oh, they're going for more.
Razork on the chase. Might just lose this to Nuke. He goes in, gets feared. Razork goes down, but Upset has the flank now onto Nuke. Paranoia out. Upset splashing forward. Rooster goes into the danger zone. And when you're there, there's not really any way out. Upset and Emperor secure the ace as Fnatic will look to push in for the win.
Okay, that was definitely too deep from Razork, but Fnatic still make the play work. They get an ace, they'll get another tower. Everything is completely falling apart for Shifters. Fnatic...
Claims a bit of damage near the end, but doesn't matter too much as Emperos continues to hand out his ornaments. Interestingly, he has upgraded Upset's Kraken Slayer, Losper's Rocket Belt, and nothing from mid-jungle.
Absolutely.
It's like, hey, we know our bread is buttered.
Absolutely. I mean, Losper deserves it this game. He's had some great ultimates for sure. That river fight for the second dragon really, I think, swung the momentum in Fnatic's favor. But Shifters now on the back foot. They are basically relying on a miracle.
And the miracle might come from a Nuke flank who's just walking through mid. Instead, with the Paranoia going in, Nuke looking for the flank now. Rooster's almost dead. Trimby gets called into Fate, but Fate has other ideas. Upset does fall low. Paduk tries to open up on him and gets him through the bailout. Now dashing around Fnatic, and the Nuke flank has worked! Razzle's going to tamp the towers. Nuke and Paduk still stand. They'll try and get out of here. The jump across the wall from Razzle will be enough. Paduk continues to dance around them, but Emperos charges him down. Fnatic lost their AD carry, lost their support, but still win the fight.
A bit too deep from the side of Fnatic, giving Shifters a moment of hope. But the fight doesn't quite go the way they want. Another
1,500 gold leads on 3 members of Fnatic. And even Losper is joining that party. Paranoia in onto a bird with an egg, and Bukada walks into a Glacial Storm and has to flash away from Upset, who just opens up on him immediately. The flash away from Laddie saves at least
controlled by Giant X.
Yeah.
If we think about the context of our playoffs right now, it feels like Vitality, G2, MCoy, KC sitting around the top. Oh, Laddie.
Equalizer down to Laddie, who doesn't have flash, but does have flash frost. Flash over the wall, the stun still landing. Rooster in that overheat. Will he be able to burn through the bird in time? Laddie comes back up, and Razork's here to save his mid. Laddie survives. Razork makes sure that he does not go down. Now Paduk trying to open up onto Emperors. Call of the Forge God coming out. Upset the target. Paduk able to dodge to the side of it. Pop Blossom though again! Finds 3. Paduk comes back with a bailout, and Emperors doesn't have the damage to work his way through the Glister. Bukada falling low. Nuke beginning to open up as well onto Losper. Gets him with the spell Flux. Now has to fight off Laddie and Emperors and can't quite do that. The Sarah shield not enough to keep him alive this time as Fnatic get their 20th kill on the board.
I mean, kind of a best case scenario for Shifters. But the problem is the Baron spawns in 8 seconds. And with Vladdy alive, he can heal back up here. Now being worked on by Upset.
The possibility of this task being done has been extinct for quite a while. As there will be Soul for Fnatic. Shifter's going to start up the Baron. Rooster will burn through this pretty quick. Razork, though, has the Grand Starfall and can close the gap rapidly himself. Nuke looking for a flank position to see if he can get some damage down. Trimby also looking for that hostile takeover. Nuke's on the wrong side of this wall, and all of Fnatic begin to collapse onto him. Nuke is atomized. Emperor's diving in as well. There's the Pop Blossom follow-up from Losper with the 3-man knocker. But Guardian Angel, Bukada in that hostile takeover won't be enough to save his life. Booster opens up with the Flame Spitter, but he's down as well, and Fnatic are just running them down. An easy enough clear up for the boys in orange and black here, as Shifters once again will be relegated to defeat. This time 0-2 in the series, 0-5 in the split. Fnatic finally finding their second win after beating G2 all those weeks ago.
Upset. Looks like he's not going to be able to find Paduk as Paduk gets away to safety, but those towers are going to drop. Shifters, they will not be able to defend their Nexus. Paduk gets back to base, but it's a slim chance.
Yeah, there's nothing Kalista can do in this situation, man. 3 members strong. Fnatic will hold him off. They'll take down the Nexus and secure their second win of spring.
Well played by Fnatic. They went for a scaling front-to-back comp, and it paid off nicely. Some great team fighting from Losper meant that when it came to the 5v5, they were simply stronger. And they start their weekend off with a 2-0.
Big win for Fnatic. Start of things to come as well. Tomorrow they play NaVi, then they face off against KC. It's an upward trajectory. It's also an uphill climb. NaVi obviously playing very well at the moment. You can vote one of the Fnatic players in your player of the series. Vote Vladdy, Upset, and Losper are your options. I mean, Upset had 2 very good games.
That's what I mean. Ooh. KC also have Prio and
How do you feel about Nocturne in this draft,
I absolutely hate it. I do not like it.
This is so important because you don't really have any camps up right now. Blue will be coming up for Relech, but he knows if Yike takes the Scuttle Crab, that's 6 for Yike, and the Grand Starfall is up that much sooner than Paranoia. Poby trying to walk across. Yahoo here. Shroud of Darkness from Relech, but now he's going to get stunned up immediately afterwards. Mainter trying to come down from the top side. Fear down onto Yike as he uses the Age of Soul into the flash. Realm Warp for the chase. Relech is low. He'll go onto the other side of Yahoo, who's been abandoned by his mid laner. And Relech survives with a sliver of HP. Needs Mainter to bodyguard him up towards this. Will he? A couple of the honeyfruits. Yike can still look for the contest. Does top. Kana Ignite Flash is gankable on the Rumble. With Relech having Flash as well, you flash over him, get the fear back, even if he does go for the Flash, and he's down to not half HP. Pathmaker in, as there's the all-out coming out from Mainter, and there's the Paranoia follow-up, and the Grand Starfall's going to be too late. Flash away from Mainter. Relech needs to get out as well. The arrow not quite finding its mark as Relech flashes from the spear. And NaVi managed to escape with their second kill of the game, and Samdi wants to make it 3. Arcane shift forward, Aegis Soul out, Busio looking for the B drop, jump in, encore, only onto the Karma, and Yike is down. Poby takes it, NaVi in KC are running the Rift.
I mean, they're turning this arena into a quiet library. Grub secured, all in, throw the ulti. He does have the flash, but there's nowhere for him to go. Oh, back to live.
Kana looking to flank here. Poby gonna get stunned up, and Kana's just gonna burn him. He tries to escape the flame spinner. He has no Leandries. The tick damage isn't there. Kana, after moving down, go in for the all-in. NaVi read that. They bring their Ezreal and their Karma up towards this top side as well. The next real objective to fight over as well is Rift held in 2 minutes. As Mainter is stepping forward here. Paris coming in from the side. There's the Enchanted Crystal out into the Grand Starfall. Perfect follow-up from KC. Paris in Paris is killed off as KC find their first of the series. Feels right to me. Feels right to me. NaVi setting up around this Rift hold. Busio going to step forward. Hawkshot coming out as they spot Relech doing it. Poby flashing. There's the stun. Poby flashes away. The tip is there for the follow-up. Poby can't win this one, but Relech is here to try and turn it around with the TP coming in behind. Relech falls low and he goes down. And now, can Mainter win it out in the end? Paris comes across. Yike dives forward. Yahoo dodging out of vision. Paris tries to heal himself up with the focus result. Mainter will get the slam into the wall. Yahoo will get taken out. The chase continues for Mainter here with Paris in his pocket. He can be healed up, shielded up, focus resolve on core. The heal to get out of range. Mainter going for more. Dashes in onto Yike, who goes in with the shield vault. Q3 for the knockback. Busio gets it with a beat drop. Yike will fall in the end of 3 for 2 in favor of KC, maybe more. Callista's here to join the fray. The volley for the slow. Busio there for the chase beat drop. Unbreakable, unstoppable from Mainter as he gets out with a hit path maker. The volley for the follow-up. Busio tanking the tower. Mainter across the wall though. Callista will still get it. KC immediately flipped the tables on NaVi.
5-5. Busio, it's a 2v2. We have to go back to live because the action's going to kick off.
Paranoia. Everybody's coming to get you, and Relech immediately regrets his decision. He flashes out, and Kana just flash follows him. That was diabolical from the Nocturne.
The game will be theirs. And KC now fully in the driver's seat.
1,000 gold lead for the men in red.
Front to back. Ezreal wants to poke, and you've got a champion that's trying to dive in. Meanwhile, Ashe Seraphine is more than happy to play into that.
I guess there's the argument you use paranoia as distraction tactics. Not needed this time, he just dives in and down goes Yahoo.
I think this is the way you now have to play. You play through sides, you look for picks, you capitalize on the fact that both Ryze and Nocturne are really good at picking you off on a side lane. But they need to keep doing it. They need to find these picks ahead of these objectives. Oh, Rifto charge in. Yike leading the way. Looks to get to Sandy. Does get the knock up on him well. Focus up, not quite. Gonna get the root, but Mainter is here. Equalizer down on Paris and Poby. Mainter still looking for a bit more of a chase, but Yike able to get out with the blast cone. In the end, the tower still stands in mid lane, but they do get the TP out, so KC will be happy with that exchange. Busio. Ooh, beat drop just wide, a clip in Paris. Grand Starfall coming in as well, and Callista's going to collapse on Paris. Opens up and the spear through his heart. Sandy the next target. Callista, he's just walking on him. The space glide out of KC as they get 2 in the mid lane. Paris and Sandy all out of sorts. Callista does all the work, gets none of the kills. Busio and Yike going to be picking those up as a 2k gold lead is now generated by KC.
They had control of that bush. Drake up in 11 seconds time. KC wants it. We sole point for them as Mainter steps forward. Equalizer down. Paranoia on the backline. Yahoo tries to flash away, but with the all-out going out, still managed to get the stun. Yahoo surviving on the backline, and Yike takes out Mainter. Kana trying to do what he can into Samdi and Poby. And with the encore, the cleanse away from Samdi will be enough, but the smite smitten down. As in the end, Kana gets it with Leandries, and KC with 5 alive. See the Nocturne in their sights. Relech with the chase onto Yahoo, who still has the stun. The fear will go off and get the kill, but Relech is now done. He's roasted on a spit by KC, as sole point will be there. No, realm walk play, Vedi.
Yeah, they need to find stuff like this.
Poby realm walk behind, Paranoia in. There goes Poby, and there's the chase, and even with Tibbers down, you can't get enough. And with the Grand Starfall coming out from Yike, let's see how quickly KC can react, because there's TP already in by NaVi. Yike winning the 1v2, he'll take 1. The arrow out as well, finds its mark, but it's on to Mainter. Poby able to dodge to the side, Yike put into the GA, Kana, Busio and Callista here to help out. The equalizer does clip onto Poby, but it's not going to be enough to kill him off with the inspired shield. All out onto Yike from Mainter, but look at the healing coming out from that Echoes of Helia. KC collapse, take 2 more. sacrifice their mid lane.
As the GA and the rest of KC then collapse. Baron on the cards, no enemy jungle smite to threaten the steal. KC, 26 minutes in, already looking to be put in a position to close this game out.
The cheers come out for KC as they manage to secure the Baron. Don't have the vision to know where Kalist is. Like, Yahoo is here. Yike is still in this bush.
That's true.
They just don't know it. So Yike is just going to walk behind them as the Equalizer comes out. Pathmaker out from Mainta. Kana immediately pops the stopwatch, and look at the damage down onto NaVi before they've even had a chance to answer back. That's the tank, Vedi! That's the tank! Scrap metal now as Kalist goes on a rampage. And NaVi, they didn't get an opportunity to fight back.
A nice engage from KC as the arrow comes through. An early equalizer means that they're able to melt through Mainta and turn this terrifying front line into nothing but paper. Burnt to ash.
No way! No way!
He actually steals the soul.
Yike doesn't have smite.
Yike did not have his smite available. And so Samdi buys a little bit of time for NaVi.
20 seconds, but he's sitting on it.
Yeah, who has to be careful about how deep he pushes in the bot side. So he's just going to take one wave and then regroup with his team.
Kalist goes in, and Chana Crystal Arrow was cleansed away by Samdi, but you can see the shields coming out from Busio. Equalizer down as well, does clip Paris, but a good Mantrid Inspire will get them out. Grand Starfall coming in as well, as KC look for the fight. The flank begins. Poby has found that backline. Encore coming in, there's Paranoia as well. Kalist has to flash away, but Kalist is down, and NaVi are going to turn onto Kana. Yike and Busio going to chase Poby and Relech down here. Relech still has the GA. Poby trying to open up onto Yike. Realm Warp out, there's no stun. Poby gets out. Relech now onto Busio. He's stunned up. Jungler down. So far an AD carry for Jungler exchange, but NaVi found a pretty good fight considering how far behind they are.
A very deep overforce from KC is once the Rumble Ultimate was used and NaVi had disengaged, I felt like that they needed to just back away way too deep onto Yahoo. And they end up losing Relech, so they can't really threaten anything else on the map.
Yeah, with Yike collapsing around, it would have been hard for NaVi to extricate themselves. Yike going forward onto Mainton. Chana Crystal Arrow does hit, but the Arcane Shift just in time. Still with the spear going through. There's the Equalizer as well, and Samdi is going to burn. Mikhail's enough to keep him alive for now as KC turn their attentions towards the Dragon. Poby's on a flank. Kana is going to face up against him, spots him out now as Poby walks back to the Tribush. Relech has the Paranoia, has a blast cone to get into the back of the pit. Samdi healing up off the red buff. Mainta getting chipped away at. And because of that, NaVi will give up the ghost on Infernal Soul. KC claim it.
Tested, and now they'll start off the Baron. NaVi, they have to find a fight here.
But they don't have vision. True Shot Rush comes out, they'll see it's at 14k. Could Realm Warp in, I guess, for Poby. You've still got the Paranoia from Relech. This is the fight that NaVi have elected to take. Samdi, Arcane shifts forward onto Kana. Redemption coming down with the Grand Starfall as well. Paris having to flash away. Paranoia on the back line. They've taken out Kalista. Samdi, it's really opening up, but he's charmed by the Encore and doesn't have plans. He's going to take down Kana. The stopwatch just in time. Yahoo falling, Yike chasing off Poby, misses the spear. Kana unstoppable as Samdi falls. Paris is next up for Yike. Another spear through the heart of NaVi. Only Mainta still stands as KC. A closer fight than it should have been, but still they come out on top.
Even after losing Kalist and Kana.
In Chana Crystal Arrow coming out, immediate Mikhail's out of powers. True Shot Barrage now going to be used to try and clear out some of this wave. But KC continued to step forward. Poby and Relech are looking for the flank. They'll go on to Kana. Poby steps in. Yahoo flashes. Gets the stun. Equalizes down Saras enough to get the shield up. And look at Samdi down to half HP. Paranoia in from Relech for the fear. Poby across the wall. Putting in the overload, but another one goes wide. NaVi now all down to about half HP and have to back up. And because KC had the backup of Busio with that surround sound, he'll heal them up. Inhibitor tower on the top side has already gone down. The True Shot Barrage doesn't really find its mark as Kalist begins to step forward. Poby almost gets in range for a Rune Prison. TP behind by Mainta. KC now need to walk out through the mid lane. Mainta's going to try and collapse on them. A pin, some movement, some damage onto Kalist. He opens up into Relech. There's the GA. Dives onto the backline. Encore onto Mainta. And now Mainta is just done for. Kana once again becomes the distraction. He'll go down, but as Poby steps up, he's immediately sent to the fountain. KC with 4 alive and only Samdi here to try and defend. NaVi down. Samdi down. Relech and Power stay alive, but their Nexus does not have that same fate. A Grand Starfall as NaVi collapse amongst the cosmos that is KC. KC claimed the win in 40 minutes.
A hard-fought battle at the end there, but it is KC that walk away with the victory. An intense start to game one of this best of three.
It really was, it really was. We're going to hand it over to the analyst desk to break down that game one. What a game one it was.
Also open still.
He is open. Do you want Varus or do you want Vayne, Betty?
I think Varus is better. Yeah, I think Varus is much better. I think it's very versatile into both. But I know when there were times last split where they deliberately picked red. Oh.
I mean, they picked red in this
Poby.
game after having selection. Poby flashes away from the Emperor's Divide with Vedius here as well. Flash, Agripism, and with Yike there for the follow-up. Yeah, Poby is toast. Yeah, who's going to be given the kill? First blood to the KC mid.
Nice gank, nice play, nice collapse from Vedius as well. He has to commit his flash, but it saves Yehu having to do it instead. They get the flash out from Poby as well. And KC draw first blood.
Yeah, nice move all round from Vedius. Had the early reset. LEC will get the Drake while all of that was happening. Gets himself by NaVi. They've got both the first neutrals in this game. LEC looking maybe just to chunk out Kana, who has overstepped a little bit, but there's no real CC here. Mainta's just going to hit him with a couple of strokes of those glaives and then walk away. LEC though looking for the flank. Poby's on his way across as well and has that super mega death rocket. Kana tries to walk out of it but can't, and he's just dead. LEC tanks the tower well. NaVi now trying to turn the ties down towards the bottom side as SamD does get the slow onto Kalist but doesn't have vision in that second bush and so can't chase any further. Vedius still does not have the flash, and Kalist the first target. SamD takes him and then finds fish food for dessert. A double for the NaVi bot side.
Beautiful double kill, but it seems that Mainta has overstayed his welcome top.
Yep, Yike's gonna kill him.
That he will. So an easy pickup for Yike. Gets a kill back. The gold remains even, but across the map, NaVi find a successful dive onto...
He's flashing the wall.
He's flashing the wall.
Okay, so Kana held onto his flash earlier, has the Chain of Corruption as well, but there's a public execution here for Mainta as he goes in for the slow. Kana needs that Chain of Corruption for the CC, but he's knocked back even through the roof. Public execution there for the follow-up, and Kana almost gets the counter kill, but can't do it in time. LEC there, flashing.
I guess I'm wrong. I guess the flash was needed. They still don't get Kana's flash.
Yeah, I think because Kana had the flash, if you want to guarantee the kill.
The swap.
SamD's up here. Ooh, sneaks into that second bush. Paris follows suit. Mainta here trying to bait out Kana. Oh, Paris walks out of the bush. The polymorph immediately, but Kana does still have the flash and will use it to get underneath the tower. The chase continues. The shot blast. SamD picks up his third of the game. And once again, NaVi are out to an early lead. This should just be the first tower of the game as well.
Threat of a dive is here from NaVi. KC reacts to it,
spotted out for a long time. Vedius and Yike here. The crowd trying to lend their voices to KC's idea that the dive might start. Chain of Corruption tidal wave, and great vision control from KC. Spells the death of SamD. Really nicely done from KC to just wait around the corner and then strike when NaVi stepped too far.
SamD still with no flash available means that he wasn't
got here for NaVi. Kalist and Vedius could still look to trade. They have a tidal wave. They got Crescent Guard out from Yike and a Mega Blast going. The vision comes out from that Scry as Bloom. Shock Blast goes wide. Rift out down to 400, 4,000 HP. Crescent Guard in, tidal wave there for the follow-up. They'll go for LEC. Knock up from the Q3 as Yike steps a little bit further. Yehu goes in with the Emperor's Divide. Poby flashes out. KC now begins to retreat, but the Mega Inferno Bomb's going to find all five. The Chain of Corruption down as SamD falls. Yehu going low. Public execution in from Mainta as now he tries to dodge away from his former teammates. He tries, but he can't escape. KC find two out of the play. A great Chain of Corruption out of Kana.
Yike, unafraid as he charges towards three members of NaVi. KC was right at his back, ready to support him. But the best benefit of this for KC is that Kana's now on 3-3. They were able to put him behind early, but now he's back in the driver's seat as LEC.
Oh, LEC is dead here. Kalist just stayed around. LEC gets knocked up, and Kalist just chasing. Yike will fall to Poby. Now Paris is going to chase onto Kalist, who does have the flash. The polymorph in time, though. It's a double for Poby as NaVi managed to scrape up the pieces from the bottom.
A long way around. They don't really have any access to the river. I see Mainta on the flank, but Kana's going to match him, zone him away. Let's see how impactful this poke is from both sides.
You're looking at the shot blast from LEC. Poby's bouncing bombs as well. The Drake secured. Yehu down. Very low Mega Inferno Bomb there for the follow-up. Shifting Sands out NaVi can look for the mid lane tower. Remember, Satchel Charge does do a chunk, but the Satchel used on KC to try and stop them from getting back towards their turret. They'll defend it for now. In the end, NaVi give up the Drake for some into a position like this. Kana so tanky already on the Varus as well. Yahoo looking to put those soldiers down and chip away at NaVi's health bar. Kalista doing exactly the same. The Drake begun by Yike. NaVi unable to step in really right now. Kana, chain of corruption, but Maintena's there for the chase. Jumps away from the root. Chem Drake secured. Public execution goes a mile wide. In reality, is Mainta unable to find his mark on Kana. Now Yahoo and Yike here to save their mid lane tower after taking Soul Point for KC.
Well, I mean, KC played that very patiently.
He's been on that front line a lot of the time.
True.
I mean, this is a perfect example of it. Samdi, that's wild growth that has to be used on him just because of a Valkyrie.
Yeah, he nearly one-shot Samdi. And he would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for Paris.
Meddling Paris.
And now they're just going to start the Baron. Yep, there is no AD carry. How do you contest this, KC? Yahoo will act as gatekeeper.
Mainta has TP. Relentia has a lot of poke. Mainta, oh my god. Oh, that is deep as all hell, Mainta. I hope you know what you're doing, buddy. Public execution out, Crescent Guard as well. Yeah, whoever to dodge away, but Relentia's caught out by Kana. And now Mainta needs to run as well. Flashes the wall. And I feel like Mainta kind of baited in his team a little bit, Vedi.
Well, I mean, I feel like the fight was over before it really started. I feel like NaVi have to rely on landing poke, and they're not doing it. They're just fully committing to all-ins before any damage is able to land. They're still threatening the Baron. They have to be mega careful against the Ziggs, but here we go.
Satchel Charge away from Poby. Samdi here as well. Mega Inferno coming out. There's the Emperor's Divide as well from Yahoo. And KC, as soon as they see NaVi step forward, immediately pounce. Two more for KC, and you have to feel that's the Baron for them as well.
You have to feel that that is the most important swing in this game. KC, they danced around the poke. Poby trying to interrupt the Baron that had him. Relech has nowhere he can go. Yeah, KC basically, oh, that's a kill.
You are correct, Benny.
KC are just pressuring NaVi into these decisions, and NaVi keeps...
They are just that cut above this weekend.
It really does feel like we're just seeing a bit of an experience gap, where NaVi, they're just cracking under the pressure, really. And KC's doing a good job of putting them in that pressure.
Oh, nice the rocket bounce from Yahoo! Oh, that was gorgeous! Mainta the new target, Yahoo stepping forward, Mainta down, tidal wave! The tidal wave for Busio, dude! Oh, you gotta sit back and just smile sometimes. That was so well played.
The rocket belt from Yahoo, the tidal wave from Busio. KC's now just hand-stiffing NaVi. They get them. Like, sure, we talked about it right in the draft. I wasn't entirely sold. I still think they face the same problems that they had in game one, where half the draft kind of wants to do something different to the other half. But I feel like NaVi's mainly losing this game because of how they're approaching certain fights, right? And KC is basically just out team fighting them. And they're finding bits.
Public execution onto Kalist, Mega Inferno Ball coming out as well. Mainta healed up enough to survive through it, but I just killed Poby. He just disappeared. And now KC is forward, can push in this mid lane. They have a Varus pushing in, this bot lane, sorry. They have a Varus pushing in mid. KC will take the first inhibitor tower of the game. And it's been 10 minutes faster than game one. Here NaVi have been unable to really find a way back in. Relech did not get the lead they needed. They so often do. The Nexus tower is the new target here. Mainta trying to step forward, but KC just fend him off again.
NaVi with a valiant fight, but they've got no fight left in them as their Nexus towers quickly fall apart. The Baron-empowered minions continue the siege.
And NaVi, like, they're in their fountain. Chain of Corruption comes down. Samdi with the wild growth still cannot survive through the KC onslaught. Here in Shea KC, it's a 2-0 to start the weekend.
KC continue their winning ways as they go up to 4-0. They sit right behind Vitality near the top of the table, and they're looking to pick up more wins throughout this weekend. NaVi showcased some promising moments, but against the might of KC, they could not quite compete.
You can vote for one of the KC players in your player of the series. Kana, Yike, and Busio, your options. I mean, they all popped off.